So, welcome to my channel. Let me just sort this camera out a little bit. I am Art Walker. This is my channel, and let's push this forward. Please draw a tiny head. Yeah, it's a little bit over the top. I get it. But however, when I do draw, when I draw the anatomy, sometimes I just go over the top. This is just the way it is. I can draw it in another way, but if you want it to be seen, you have to exaggerate it. Do you see what I mean? It's just the way it is. So, if you're not familiar with my work, I'm offering these tutorials pretty much for free to encourage others to draw. Right. So yeah, this is why I do it. And all I ask of you guys and girls is just simply to like and to share this live to others. And my point is that I will be moving over to this other channel that I've got written at the top here. I will be going to that channel because I don't get paid on this channel. And I am not going to invest too much of my time into lining the pockets of others, if you understand what I mean. So please do me a favor and just hit the like button, share the live, and it will encourage me and help me to grow as well, as I'm trying to help you to grow. So today's subject is the torso, the male torso. So here is one example. Here was the other example that I had. So I'm going to break that down. We're not going to do a long one today. I'll try and keep it short and concise, but we are going to study the male torso. And the female torso is very similar. Obviously, we have areas that look slightly different, but we won't be going there as such. So let's get into this. Has everybody got a pen and paper or pencil? Everyone got one. So let's get into this. Let me turn that down a little bit. Don't know why my camera angle is a bit strange. Let me just sort that angle out so it doesn't look there you go. It's a little bit better. Like so. Good. Good. Okay. So, torso. Usually we're talking about two heads, right? So we're going to go from here, but we're just going to work from here. We're not going to work on the neck and stuff like that. So what you have to do is you have to imagine our torso is simply, my pen wants to work, it is simply a rectangle. So we're going to start it like this. To achieve higher shadow realism, you could use charcoal, create more contrast. Yeah, there's a million ways to make things have more contrast. That image was drawn 10 years ago. It's just, yeah, not really. I'm not really bothered with it, actually. I could just leave it like that and I'm quite happy with it. Yeah, nah. If I have an old image, I tend never to go on and draw on it again. I like to leave it. Like, say for example, I drew this a few months ago. I won't touch this again. I'll move on to try and keep my artwork fresh. I never go back and draw on old images. I leave them stuck in that time zone. So anyway, is everyone getting that? So our torso, we can look at it as a rectangle, right? And then we could also look at our hip area also as a rectangle underneath it. However, I tend to like to look at the hip area like so, as a funnel, more like this type of shape. Do you see what I mean? Is everyone clear on that? If you like what you see, please hit the like button. If you really like what you see, please share the live. See, so this is how I dissect the male torso, because it starts like this. Is everyone getting that? We can add a sphere here, and then this one obviously will be a little bit hidden, and all of a sudden we've got something that resembles a person's body. See, so as a beginner, I would suggest that you start your artwork like that. Is everyone understanding that? Is everyone understanding that? Yeah, good. Thank you. At least someone's awake. It's all a bit slow today. Never mind. Well, I'll probably, if it stays slow, I probably won't push it too hard. So obviously from the front, we do the same. And I know this is like, oh, this is so basic for me and I need something higher than this. Unfortunately, this is the best way to start, is to start with the basics. So we can round that torso off like so. The spine is at the back here. And then we have our hips here. Collarbone and so on will be here. Is everyone getting that? Is everybody getting it? Where's that image gone? That one. Right, I'm going to leave that there just in case someone joins and they're wondering what we're drawing today. This is what we're drawing today. It's the male torso. Good morning, Vicky. How are you doing? How are you doing? I see. Right. So is everyone getting that? What I'm doing here? I should actually have a separate screen for this. That would be quite a good idea. So you prefer using this? No, not really. No, I prefer to know the skeletal structure and then I add the muscle. Because if you do it the other way around, I don't think unless you have the knowledge of the skeletal structure, I don't think your muscles will be very accurate if you don't have it. Do you see what I mean? Good morning, Damians. How you doing? See, so say for example, if we continue here and I add the shoulder bone here and joint here, and we've got our collarbone here. If we want to learn the male torso, we have to understand how the muscles connect to the different parts of our body. If we don't know that, it's just going to look weird. Because if you see someone muscular move their body, their chest moves with it, right? Their chest moves. If they go back like this, you might see the nipple move backwards, right? And stretch across here. So this is the mechanics. You need to understand these mechanics first. That's so true. Yeah. So that's why it's important to learn it like, I believe it's to learn it like this. So let's keep going. So I've got here a body, the torso. You have to understand that the torso is, if we project these lines across, I'm going to project these lines across. So that tells us exactly where the spine would be and where it would bend. and where the hips are. Maybe that bend is a little bit too drastic. Let's tidy that up a little bit. It'd be roughly like this. So we now have the same body from the side. Yes, I will be posting this on YouTube. I'll post all of these. Everyone now will be posted on YouTube. So if you do turn up late, not a problem. Not a problem. All right. So now we have the body from the side. We can add the shoulder and so on, the arm, like so. This is important. Yeah? Anyone got any questions? And if you like the live, please hit the like button and share the live, just so we can generate a bit more interest for me. That would be nice. So, any questions? Jack, Afia, Ado, any questions? Any questions about what we're doing? Danny, how you doing? Any questions about what we're doing? No. Okay, I'll take that as a no. Take that. I will take that as a no. So now we need to proportion. We need to set out where everything belongs, right? So I'm going to go very geometrical. I'm not going to add any curves yet. So we go straight down here. That's where our abdominals would be, right? Here, our obliques. I'm getting quite good at this now. That's where the obliques would be. Here, remember that the chest is a three-dimensional object, right? And it curves. So we're going to add a curve also here and up here. So now we have, how you doing, Real? No questions, good. So there is a separation between the two muscles here, right? So don't forget that. And our chest and shoulder are somewhat connected, as we will see later on. And this is basically how we draw the torso. Is everyone clear on that? It does get a little bit complicated, I know. So now we have the back. We have our lats here that hang around the back of our back. Sorry, it sounds a bit strange, but on our back here we've got our lats that slightly come out just here. So that's why the torso juts out simply there. We would see some rib definition here. We can just add a couple lines and that should be enough for this purpose. We don't really need to go totally deep into that, but that's how we have these muscles that are running also on the side of our rib cage. So as I said, these are lats. Let me just make sure that this is roughly the right size, same size. That drop down to here. Good. Has anyone got any questions about that? So I'm just tidying that up and you can see it's all falling into shape. The lats and the torso. It's a very quiet, very, very quiet group today. Very quiet group. So I'm just going to keep going. I'm not going to pause. I'm just going to keep going. Because if I ask if there are any questions, no one answers, I'm not going to. I'm just going to keep soldiering on. So when I draw abdominals, I draw them like this. I will zoom in later on. Some people say we have 6. Some people say we have 8 muscles. It just depends. This is this stomach is pretty well defined. And I simply add this type of wavy line. It's almost like drawing lips on a mouth. And then when you add that type of line, you can add the relevant shading, and then you've got a pretty well-defined stomach. I know you're all thinking, why is Art Walker drawing his own stomach again? He's always doing that. See that? And we've got our six-pack. This is good. Thank you, Zoyo. Thank you very much. Just taking it all in. Good. You see? So now this is where we can start adding some more curves to our very rigid body that I've drawn here. It's very rigid, I get that. But for this purpose, just to understand the mechanics, it's better that we do it that way. Is everyone getting that? And please hit the like button if you like what you see. Summer, how are you doing? And I can't read your name. I'm just going to call you Rilod or Rodrigo. Nice to see you. Oh dear. Okay, so let's get into this a bit further. We have our obliques here, and we would see some of the stomach here. And obviously we have our chest line here that would join our shoulder. And that is basically how we draw the male torso. I'm going to break it down a little bit more now, because that was quite fast today. I'm going to be pretty quick today because I've got an appointment as well. I just realized the time. But that just gives you a basic idea. This information here we can put onto this body also. Yeah, you have to rewatch that one, but you have to also you have to study the anatomy a bit, because I think people underestimate how much goes into learning the anatomy, because you've got a lot to learn, right? There's a lot to to pick up there. So we can do this again, right? So let's draw. We've still got a little bit of time, so it's no problem. We can keep going. Let's draw this again. Let's start with, everyone do the same, please. Start with a box. See, I'm not worrying about my mistakes, right? So don't worry about your mistakes and so on. So start with your box, like so. And then add another box underneath. I like to personally draw my hips like that. You like drawing faces, yeah? So do I. I did a face yesterday, actually. I did a drawing of V. No, not V. What's her name? Jinx. Yes, hello Fiona. I know you follow me. Das weiß ich. Ich weiß schon. Superhero pants. Exactly. So that's how you can start it. Obviously, we have to round everything off, right? So we round it off so the torso is slightly narrower at the top here. Slightly narrower at the top. And then we can add our opening for our neck and our collarbone, like so. Is everyone getting that? This is so chill. That's nice. Because I don't play music and stuff in the background, you know. I just draw, really. I don't play any music. So is everyone getting that? we could add the other details for the rest of the arm here. So that would just illustrate roughly where the joints are and so on. We don't have to go into that, but that's basically what it would look like. So now we have to carve out our cavity here, right? So we'll take that away and we'll take that in as well. So we now have our center line running through here. We can curve, obviously we have to curve our hips here. Huh? That's important, like so. Almost like a heart shape. Now we have our hips defined. We started with boxes and then we carved and curved everything. Thank you for the shares and thank you for the likes to all those that are sharing. That's much appreciated. So we've got our skeleton. Oops, I've just realized I've forgotten something. The spine is roughly here, obviously roughly here at the back. Just to remind you. Hello, B. I didn't even see you in the live. That's nice. I'm glad you turned up because it was your idea, actually. So now we're going to draw this again on here. We've got a separation between the chest muscles. We're going to curve it slightly so it follows the chest itself. Each muscle here follows the chest itself. I know that we have, it's almost like a, what would you call that? The chest here is actually connected here. And it's got a twist in the muscle. That's the word I was looking for. It's got a twist in the muscle here because this muscle is connected to our collarbone here. Like so. It's actually connected to our collarbone. Is everyone getting that? Yes, this will be posted on YouTube. This will be posted on YouTube. I can't remember how many ribs we actually see here. I don't think there are many. I think we've only got about 9. And if you aren't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. That would help me a lot. Because as you know, I'm offering this service for free and I wouldn't mind getting paid for it. So TikTok don't pay me for this, even though I'm offering it to you guys for free. Please join my YouTube channel to support me. Or I can just do this somewhere else or charge for it, basically. And I don't want to charge because I want to encourage people that don't have the money to go to art school to learn to draw. That's why I'm doing this for free. So if you want to encourage me and help me, please subscribe. It costs you nothing. Just click. Yeah, that's all I'm asking you guys to do. So if you appreciate what I'm doing, just show your appreciation by just subscribing. That would be great. So now, as I said, this is connecting here. Our chest is connected to our arm. That's why when you move your arm up, your chest moves as well. You see that? Thank you for the shares and the follows, everyone. So where do we go from here? Okay, good. So we now can add a little bit of muscle. The chest actually looks like that. So anything that you see me draw in red now is are going to be the details. This is about the torso. Yes, Dweck, how you doing? How are you doing? So now any detail that you see me add is going to be in red. So we now are adding details to our body. So these will signify, the rib cage. Yeah? As I illustrated here before, we can go straight down here I like to curve this line here, like so, because the human body is not really straight, is it? But I like to curve it a little bit, and it gives it that little bit of a organic feel. And then we add our obliques. I think I've got a little bit of a wide separation here. My hips are a little bit wide, maybe. Well, when you draw the head, yeah, probably a little bit wide, but that's all right. And then here. Then we add, right, there's our hip. I'm going to push my hips up a little bit here to correct that. The hand cam is lagging. I have no idea why that is. That is so annoying. Why would that be? I'm using a cable. That is so annoying. I apologize for that, but I cannot do any more. It's not. Okay, good. It is for me. Okay. Well, that could be your side. It could be your side. It's a terrible lag. Oh, Jesus. So why would that be now? Hold on. Let me just see if there's anything on in the background. I don't think I have got anything. That is a shame. That is really a shame. Do we want to... Should I log out and log back in? Should I log out and log back in? And then hopefully we can all get back onto it, or... It's fine. Okay, well, we'll keep going. Good. So, where were we? We were, yes, obliques. We add the oblique muscles here and here. And then now we have our abdominal area here defined. If you struggle with it, just with the measurements, you can go 1, 2, 3, just to define where the muscles are. And then you do this, let's call it the W. I suppose you could call it a W, that I do, and I've seen other people do it, where it almost looks like you're drawing the lips here. And then you can define some nice abdominal muscles, like so. This actually looks like this guy's made of steel. Do you see what I mean? So we got our 3, and then we go our lower ab here. So we can add our 6-pack. Yes, I am self-taught. I didn't go to art school. They didn't want me in there. So I've got a vendetta to one day show them how good I could have been. So, as I showed you guys here, we have our lats. They come over from the back here and down. From the back and down. We could add a second. I like to add a little second line here for a little bit more. And then we have it. We've got our torso pretty much defined. Oh, thank you, Isa. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And if you've got any questions, please ask. I'm happy. I'm really happy when people say these things, because it's just me on a screen talking to random people, right? So I don't know if it's working. I don't know if people are enjoying it. So if people are enjoying it, that's brilliant. Yeah, I think it's because I am self-taught. If I'm honest, I think it's because I'm self-taught, and I just have my own way. I had my own way to find out how to draw things, and I've actually taught small children. So I use very, very basic objects first in everything that I draw. I always start with very, very basic objects. I use very, very basic terminology on purpose as well. And I find that helps a lot. Definitely working. I've improved a lot. Brilliant. But please show me your artwork. If you do something and you really draw something and you use one of my techniques, just mention me. I'd love to see it. I would love to see it. So that would be great. And as you can see, as a principle, I use the most basic tools on the planet. I use a very basic pen. This is just a basic big pen. Look, it's getting cloudy around here because I'm holding it so much. I use these tools just to prove that you can do amazing things with very simple tools. I don't have anything fancy on purpose. Has anyone got any questions? I'm a student in my class. That doesn't talk my... Okay, that's fine. Not a problem. But you can hit the like button, right? Or you can share. You don't have to say anything. That's for sure. Yeah, anatomy is cool. Anatomy is a really cool subject. So now we can take it a little bit further, right? So we've got our torso drawn up. We have to also use basic hatch techniques like so. It's up to you whether you go singular or cross hatch. That's entirely up to you. What you like to do, how you like to express your art is entirely up to you. So when you are thinking about hatching your torso, you have to identify where the muscles are contouring around the body and where there is very little light. What are you drawing? Can someone help 20 Vino out there? Can someone help him out? I don't think he realizes what I'm drawing. Maybe I'm just not drawing it very well. Maybe I'm just not drawing it very well. Are you sure, Epi? Are you sure we're drawing that? Oh, dearie me, that's too funny. That is too funny. I always find that amazing when I do a live and people say, "What are you drawing?" You're like, "What?" Oh dear. Not exactly. And it is also funny when people. Well, yesterday I was drawing Jinx, and people would join and go, "Oh, you're drawing Jinx," and you're like, "Oh, thank God for that," because you don't want them to say, "Oh, is that Elvis?" You're like, "Oh dear, how you doing, Nightwolf?" And Ralman Hood, how you doing? You're a bit late, but we'll be putting this on YouTube today. So let's get back into it. So here, as you see, this fold here, right? The muscle actually goes in this direction as well. It splays out in that direction, and it's attached to the collarbone here, right? So these are the things you have to bear in mind when you are adding your muscle and so on to your body. And like we discussed earlier, if you've got a good understanding, you don't have to know everything, but if you've got a good understanding of anatomy, it will improve your artwork a lot, purely because you know where certain things fold and how certain things connect. No, I don't draw digitally. I used to, but I don't like it. Because I don't like the fact that people say to me, "Oh, did you do that with Photoshop?" I don't like that. And that's why I tend not to film videos at the moment, and I don't speed them up and stuff like that. I like to do things live so people can see he did that in front of me in 20 minutes. And that's why I don't do any kind of videos and I don't do all that. Not yet. Maybe later on when I build my empire. That looks cool. Thank you, Ralman. Has anyone got any questions about this? Anyone got any questions? And I would encourage anyone that's just starting out not to get too heavily into digital initially, because funny enough, I did some digital drawing before, and I remember once I was drawing away digitally a lot with Photoshop, blah blah blah, and then I got a piece of paper and I was drawing something else, and I actually thought of hitting the undo button while I was drawing. I thought, oh yeah, I can't undo it. That was just the weirdest thing in the world. So you can't undo anything. Thank you for the roses, Isa. Anyone got any questions about what we're doing? How accurate to real muscle are you trying to be? No, realism is not my goal. No, not at all. I do like to draw things quite realistically, but no, because you don't have to draw a body like that. You see, you can just simply draw a body. If you want to draw a body, based on my knowledge, I can just draw a body like this and make it look half decent. You know, do you see what I mean? You don't have to go ultra realistic. But if I'm drawing a torso without any guidelines, you don't have to make it look so ripped and raw, you know? Like here, you could just, I've really gone broad on this one, but my goal is not to be hyper realistic. But if I do draw something, I'll really want to know what it looks like. So if I decide to change it, I know how it warps or how it shapes how it's shaped in a different position. All of this, you don't have to draw all of this. You can just skip all of these levels, but you now can just add certain contours. So for example, on this arm, I would just add some shading on it under here, and you know, just I know it connects sort of here, so maybe I'll add a little definition here. So it just gives you the idea of where the muscles are. But I think I'm going to do a really hardcore image, and I'll probably just do it all day of the body, really, really hardcore. I mean, I think I want to do something like that. A piece of artwork, I suppose. At the moment, I just do a lot of sketching, very bitty, kind of fast. And I find that I draw really fast at the moment. I think it's to do with the lives. But you could draw that just like that. The Hulk, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the problem. I have to stop drawing like this. I tend to draw like that a lot. But if I draw females, I draw totally different. That's something totally different. So, has anyone got any questions? Oh, hold on. I've got that one. How do you manage to draw the neck? Well, it's funny. I have to look at that myself. I have to look at the neck myself. For me, the neck, I don't really add much detail to the neck, if I'm honest. But if I'm going from memory, I'm really going from memory here. The neck, I would definitely start it like this. This is the collarbone. I haven't got anything to refer to, but I know it goes up like this. And then we got our traps. This actually looks like a mouth. That is really weird. That looks like a mouth. Huh? Do you see that? That looks like a mouth. That is really weird. That is really weird. That looks like a mouth. Oh, thank you, Feet Tickler. Oh, I like that name. Feet Tickler. That sounds quite interesting. So then we have a gap here where we've got, that is really weird. I keep seeing a mouth here. That is really weird. That is really, really, really weird. And then I tend to just draw a line like this going downwards. I don't really go heavily into detail when it comes to the neck. I usually just draw it like that. And there you go. And then connecting to the chest. I don't really add much else. But if I wanted to, I could look it up. But I don't think. This is all, as you can see, reference free. I'm just making it up as I go along. Yeah, do you see the mouth? That was weird. That was a bit weird. I like that. I do things like that. I like to see. I will. When I get off this live stream, I'll probably do that again, with that in mind. This is in TikTok Studio. This is in TikTok Studio. So anyone got any questions about what I'm doing here? And if you like what you see, please hit the like button. And if you're not following, maybe you should. And if you want to watch this video again, you can watch it on my YouTube channel. That's really quite a compliment, actually. Your artwork is majestic. Wow. That is really, wow. I'm feeling a bit pumped up myself. Thank you very much, Feet Tickler. And I think your name is absolutely wicked. And thank you very, very much for the follows. You're welcome. Yeah, you just have to, TikTok Studio, you just have to have two different sources. Your camera and your computer screen. So, any questions about what I'm doing here? Wilkins? I can see your names, right? Kiam, any questions? Nail Studio and art. Interesting. Gwen, ich folge dir. Okay, sehr gut. Danke, Gwen. Gibt es Fragen dazu? Yes. Well, I do a lot of anatomy stuff. I do a hell of a lot. And at the moment, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but at the moment, I'm doing a lot of... this is actually... I did this in a live, actually. So if you... where's he gone? This one. This one here. That I did... I think it was it yesterday? Or the day before? The day before. I did that in a live. So that is actually... You can watch me do that on my YouTube. So that is what I did on my live. And then I do a lot of, at the moment, I'm going to do a lot of bone and anatomy stuff like that. Slightly exaggerated, a bit, I don't know, strange looking. I like it a little bit edgy, that kind of stuff. And I do all of this with the big pen, right? And I don't pre-draw it. I just draw straight with the big. So anything that you see me draw, this was also done in a live as well. I don't think I've posted this one yet. And I think I need to add a bit more tone to the darker shades. But this is all straight up big pen, zero pencil, right? Zero. And then I also I draw females a lot of females. And I draw a lot of really, really tough looking males, like so. And this is where the anatomy stuff starts to kick in when I draw stuff like that. This is due to be redrawn. Oops, it's a bit shiny. Hold on. This is modeled on that cool artist Frank Frazetta. I like his style, so I decided to do my own version, and I will do this again on an A3. So that is where, when you start to study the anatomy, you can do some really cool stuff with it. So enough of my rambling. Dreadhead, exactly. Judge Dreadhead. So let me just see what I need to go. Yeah. I'm posting them all on YouTube, and I've got the power to do it myself now. I didn't know how to do it before, and I've been learning I've literally just started doing this. I've literally just started drawing seriously for the last 10 months. So I've got my own ambitions and goals, and I can see the improvement already. So I'm looking forward to see what I produce in a year from now. Thank you, Saya. It's perfect, bro. What I mean, yeah, thank you. No, I appreciate that. Not a problem. What do you want to see? The females? I've got some female images. Nice, beautiful. Not yet. Not yet. I'm not. I'm at the. This is my beginning. I am going to stay humble until the end, but I'm literally just starting. I've only started really drawing in the last 10 months, and I know it's going to start paying off. Yesterday I did some horse. I was drawing horses yesterday, and that went well. And this is the thing I try to encourage people to understand. This is what I did the other day as well. This is what I try to encourage people. When you join my lives, I will make mistakes during the live. And like here, someone said, oh, this is too short and this is too long or whatever. But I'm quite happy to make a mistake during the live and try to correct it. And then when you are in your sketch phase, you are going to make mistakes. And I'd like people to understand that. And then I drew the horse again the second time, bearing in mind these proportional errors, and you gradually get better. This is what I want people to understand. You're never going to get it right first time, every time. Never. Unless you are really good. That's for sure. But maybe I'm not there yet. Can I draw a cat? I'm sure I could. Yeah, this is what I mean. Sometimes, well, I like this. I like when it's a bit chaotic like this. I think this is nice. You know, I like when it's got the odd line here and there. I like that. It gives the artwork a bit of energy. This is why, you know, you've got this lovely AI art, but it just becomes sterile. It just becomes like too perfect, if you know what I mean. Are you a professional back then? Sorry, I don't understand the question. Excuse me. Are you a professional back then? Yeah, I've never drawn birds. Never drawn birds. Yeah, I do that a lot. I draw like this a lot. See, these are the things you'll find on my feed where I draw things over things, and there's just pure chaos. This was I did this a while ago, and you can see it's like a brainstorm for me, and then I exaggerate things, and I make the belly bigger, and I make like here you can see it's a bit chaotic, but I like that. Centurion, how you doing? How are you? Mazzy, how you doing? Thank you for the gift. You draw hands, right? Yes. And feet. Yes. Yes, I do. And the videos, you can watch them on YouTube. I've posted them already as well. The hand one is definitely on YouTube. Definitely. All of them. And I will be posting this one as well. So, good. Let's get quickly into shading. So, as I said, if you've got body parts, if this is the shoulder and you want to hatch it, practice following the muscle. Because if I draw the same shape again, and I just draw straight lines like this, it kind of flattens the object. But when you start curving the lines, it gives it a body again. It gives it that curve. You see? If I draw let's call it a circle, and let's call this a circle. If I draw straight lines on it, it turns it into some sort of drain, right? It's just flat. But when you bend these lines, it turns it into a spherical object. So these are the things that you have to think about when you are hatching your body, so to say, not your body, when you are hatching your body. And don't forget what I said with regards to practice drawing simple shapes like so, and then turn that simply into a body. You see, and define, okay, where is the center line? Where does the neck go? And then slowly build that person up. Don't know what position you want to draw them in. Build that up like so. So we've got this robotic looking person, right? But that's okay, because that just helps you understand the mechanics. Really? Maybe that's a skill I've got. This one is pretty accurate. This one is pretty accurate. And that is another thing that I've got. I've got my own back drawing technique, and that is actually on my feed. Thank you, Gamete. Gate mate, something like that. Gate mate. So if you're looking for that I've got my own back drawing technique, and that is literally my back drawing technique. I'm going to show you very quickly how it works. Very, very quickly. And no, in fact, I'm only going to show you a part of it. I'm going to be a little bit of a git. I'm going to be a little bit of a git. You see what I started with? Just this simple cross, right? Oops. What does that look like? Here. What does that look like? I'm not drawing arms. Sorry, I'm not mixing the lives. Does anyone know what that looks like here? It looks like an A. Does anyone else see an A here? Let me highlight it a bit better. If I go like that. Looks like an A, right? So look. So now you are going to learn the Art Walker back drawing technique. Because then I will measure this off. And now we have the basic, the A and the W to draw a back. And that's the art. Well, I'm not going to go any further. I'm just going to show you very, very quickly that is the Art Walker back drawing technique, because it literally has an A and a W in it. And then after that, it's just a case of adding the muscles. Even though I did slightly mix the tutorial here, but that is the Art Walker back drawing technique. And then we go down, and I'm not going to finish it, but you can see what I mean. That is what you achieve with an A and a W. Art Walker. The Art Walker back drawing technique cannot be taken away. And this is another one I'm going to work on. That's got my brain ticking away, this one. We're going to have I'm going to have an idea here. So you guys better get into supporting me now before I'm a multi-trillionaire and I'm going to charge like 50,000 a live stream. Oh dear. How you doing, Minty? How you doing? So, good. I think we've pretty much, unless anyone's got any questions, I think we've pretty much covered it. If you like what you see, please hit the like button. If you really like what you see, buy me a car. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you really want to watch my videos again. I think Shadow answered that question. Did you walk away? How accurate are the muscles on the back based? I think this is pretty accurate based on the shade. You can see the shade in here where the muscle actually dips, and you can see the where the muscle actually lifts. See, here and here. So this is a dip. This is an arc, and then a dip again. Dip, arc, dip. Did you get that, Shadow Wolf Clan? Thank you very much for the gifts. Much appreciated. Yeah? What have I achieved? Yes, sir. Good. Oops, what was that? Oh dear. I've just clicked something and something else has popped up. Oh, sorry. I've got to pin something up there. I don't know what. Oh God, what have I done? I don't know what I've done. I'm trying to get rid of something. Set up a goal. I haven't got any goals. Hold on. What goal? Confirm. I don't know what this is doing. I haven't set any goals. I don't even know what I'm doing, unfortunately. Good. Good. Anyone got any questions before I sign off? Maybe what I will do, just very, very quickly, I'll show you in green how you could hatch. I'm just going to hatch one side. So this is always important. You might follow me sometimes and you just see me drawing lines like this. And I do have some hatching and line drawing tutorials. So it's not by chance that you see me hatch the way I hatch, because I am constantly evolving and practicing new things. And a lot of what we do, are very basic techniques, but put together in a complicated combination. So hatching is very important that you practice it. And then obviously having an understanding of light and so on. So I'm just going to quickly hatch this up just to show you what I mean in green, so you can really identify it. Then it's definitely going to look like the Hulk. So we've got the Incredible Hulk coming here. I'm only hatching the areas that are in, that should be defined as darker. Like so. That does look like the Hulk now. I shouldn't have done it in green. Never mind. It does actually look like the Hulk. This is my Hulk drawing tutorial. The side. Well, do you know how to draw the side? Do you see what I mean? Like here, I drew it as a block. So if you start drawing it as a block like that, then you can simplify it. No, sorry, then you have a simplified version, then you round it off, right? So then I would just round that off. There's no real master technique, I don't think. You just have to try and understand. This is where the anatomy comes in, where everything belongs, how it contours and bends. And I don't know what you mean by the traps, but you don't really see much, really. It's more the neck, I suppose. That's an area that you might have to focus on. But the traps, if I'm not mistaken, are here, right? Sometimes I get them a bit wrong. That I don't see. And that's here, right? So it's connecting. I don't really see what or how that is a problem for you. I have to see it, unfortunately. Do you see what I mean? I'm struggling. If I can't see it, I can't really advise you accurately. Are those bodies? Yes. Yes, these are bodies. Is the W similar to the front of the body or different? Never looked at it like that, but I think it's different. Because if you look at these muscles here, it almost looks like a W. Do you see what I'm saying? Here, it looks like an A. That's something I just stumbled across, and it was like a wow moment. Because even here, you could say, this looks like a W. If I go like this, that is literally this here. You see what I mean? And then you've got the lower back here. That's where the spine would be here. And it does actually work without much. And so if you are really struggling with drawing backs, if you remember that, you've got your A, your W, and I'd like to put a V here, like a Volkswagen. You've got the back pretty much nailed. pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Good. Okay, you got it. And that back drawing one, you can find that on my feed step by step, but you can find it on the TikTok, and that's going to be literally me talking you through it. Good. Okay, I think we're done for the day. That was 1 hour, pretty cool tutorial. I'm sure you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube. That would be great. Thank you for your support. I hope you enjoyed that. One recommendation: don't set the bar too high when you're setting out your art journey. You know, be humble, take your time, and don't get despondent. Don't get put off because it seems like a lot. Just do it stage by stage, and you've all got it. I'm sure you'll be fine. Have a good day. Take care now. Bye-bye.